Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another very important topic of HTML, which is what is the difference between ID and class. Okay, so by the end of this session, you will be able to answer the differences between ID and class, and we will also see how we can apply IDs and class together. I will show you, although we have separately discussed these things, but still there are some people who want to see how we can apply ID and class on the same web page together. Okay, so that's why we will cover this thing. Firstly, I'll show you the differences between ID and class. We will cover few theoretical points that will clear your concept for ID and class differences, and then later on we will verify the output. Clear? But before we start the session, I just would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be very easy for you to understand the ongoing topic. Okay, but for time being, we are just focusing on the differences between ID and class. Okay, alright. So now if I talk about the code, so here you can see the code is quite simple. We have one head section where we have specified the title, showing the title as Sharmit. Then we have in body section we have few comments and heading, which is like HTML by Sharmit. Now you can save this and refresh your browser. After a refresh, you will see that output is coming like this, HTML by Sharmit. Now you can see we have also added the comment. So now for the difference, firstly let's create few paragraphs that we can use for the demo purpose. So here I will define the paragraph. Here I will write this is a sample line of the paragraph. Okay, and then we can put one break here, so br. Alright, so we are ready with this line. Now you can simply copy it, paste it multiple times so that we can see the paragraph in a proper manner. Now you can save this and refresh it. So this paragraph is coming like this. Okay, now what we will do, we will create another paragraph. So let me copy the same one, I'll paste it here. So we have two paragraphs. Clear? Now let's talk about the ID and class. So if I talk about ID and class, like previously we saw that yes, we can use both of them for applying the properties to the paragraph. Okay, then what is the difference? The difference, there are many factors that differentiate the ID as well as class. So today we will just talk on all these things, like what are those parameters and how we can answer this thing if someone asks this question in interview, like how to prepare, how to differentiate the ID and class. So first parameter is uniqueness. Yes, so ID should be unique to a single element on a page, and you cannot assign the same ID to multiple elements in HTML. So this is very important, and the first point for the difference between ID and class, that ID should be unique to a single element on a web page, and it cannot be assigned the sample, it cannot be assigned the same ID to multiple elements. Clear? Whereas if we talk about the class, so yes, class can be used for multiple elements, and you can assign the same class to as many elements as needed. Okay, so this is the first parameter, that yes, ID should be unique, whereas class can be used for multiple elements. Then second parameter is syntax. If we talk about syntax, then ID is always defined with the hash in CSS selectors. Okay, so whenever you want to declare or define the ID, you will use the hash symbol. Whereas if you want to define the class, in that case you will use the dot. Okay, so this is the difference between syntaxes of ID and class. At the time of declaring, ID can be declared with the ID can only be declared with the hash symbol, whereas class is declared with the help of dot symbol. Clear? Fine. Now we have next thing, which is uses, like when to use what. Okay, so if I talk about id, so it is often used for styling specific element or targeting element for JavaScript manipulation. And if we talk about the class, then commonly used to apply styles to group of elements that share the same visual styling. Clear? So these are the differences between id and class on the basis of uses. Now we have fourth point, which is CSS specificity. Yes, so if both things are applied on a same element, both means id and class, then what will happen? It will change the things according to the id properties. Okay, so you can say that id has higher specificity than a class selector, meaning if both are applied, the styles from the id will override those from the class. Okay, so these are the very important and useful differences between id and class. Now if I talk about the next thing, which is performance, so yes, for sure id is slightly faster for JavaScript selectors. Okay, because it is just directly targeting only the one element, right? That's why it is the faster one. And if I talk about class, so it is a bit slower as it may apply to multiple elements. Clear? So these are the all very important differences between the id and class. I hope it is clear to you, like what are the difference between id and class. And as I mentioned, like if you are preparing for interviews, then this question will be for sure very important for you. Okay, all right, so we just discussed the theoretical thing. It's time to see the practicals. So now we will apply id as well as class so that you can see the difference here as well. Okay, so here I will add the style tag. Now in style tag, we will firstly define the id, or maybe we can define the class first. Okay, so I will write dot class, then curly braces. Here we will write let's say color, maybe red, then we will apply background color, which is black. Clear? So this is the thing which I have applied. Not applied, we just defined it, right? So it's time to apply this, because right now if you see the output, it will not show you the output, right? But if you apply this thing here, let me apply there. So I will write simply here class, which is class. Okay, something is wrong here. It should be class 1 instead of class. Okay, now we can apply class 1 here and refresh your browser. So you can see it has been changed to a red font color and black background. Clear? Now if you want to apply some properties with the help of id, yes you can. So here you just need to define it with hash symbol, hash, and then we will write id, curly braces, then we will write color. Color would be white, I guess. Yeah, we can keep white, and then the background color, which is black. Now you can simply save this and refresh your browser. So we have not applied it yet, so let me add id1, and you can use any name, not fixed that you have to use id or class 1. You can use any name, but it should be unique. Okay, and as per the guidelines. So here now we will apply the id. So for that you can simply write here id, and in id we will put we can simply put here id1. Clear? Now you can save this and refresh it. So after a refresh, you will see that id is also impacting the second paragraph, whereas class is impacting the first paragraph. Okay, so this is how we can apply, and the syntax or structure is also clear to you, that if you are using dot, sometime it happens that in interview you will be provided with this kind of code and they will ask like which one is class when which one is id. So you can simply say that the one which is started with dot is the class, and the one which is started with a hash is a id. Clear? So yeah, that's all for today. In the next session we will discuss few more things. By that time you can share the answer of one question, and today's question is how we can define you can just simply define the term class in HTML. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Sharmit.